Live yet? It's 2024. I cannot believe it is 2024. I'm happy that a new year has started because I love what a new year brings, but I'm also like, dang, it is a new year. It's the second already. Like it is time to get things going. So I wanted to just do a little creative check-in, share a couple things that I'll be working on and see what y'all are working on. How are y'all feeling about it being a new year? Are you creating some new things? What is some stuff y'all have written down? Y'all know I love to write things down. So have you written down some goals? What is T? And then I'll pull up what's going on for me. So I made a little Notion template because I love Notion. I actually did make this template. I got it from another creative, but I used it and it has like scriptures at the top. I put one, it was just a reminder. The reminder says you don't have to have it perfect to start. You perfect what you start along the way. And I need that because as y'all know, it took me forever to finally launch the Cool Kids Collective, even though I did it, rocking the sweatshirt today. But I need that reminder that I don't have to be perfect to start anything that I do. I can just do it and it will be what I need it to be, what it's supposed to be, what people need to take away from it as I continue. So I have that reminder at the top. I have Luke 11:9 at the top of my goal sheet as well, which reads, "So I say to you, ask and keep on asking, and it will be given to you. Seek and keep on seeking, and you will find. Knock and keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you." And I just need a reminder that I need to go get the things I want to get. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I am waiting around. I want things to just kind of pop off. And sometimes it pops off that way. But other times you need to knock, you need to seek, you need to go and ask for what you're looking for and you'll actually get it, but you have to put in the request. And if you watched my latest upload, I actually was talking about how you make a personal song of lament, and in doing that, you submit a request to God, and then you back your request with why you should be able to get the thing that you're hoping for. So requesting things is scriptural. It's all over everywhere. And I just needed a reminder of that. And then the third thing that I have at the top of my goal sheets is have the courage to live your life. Take it one moment at a time. Fear doesn't get to drive you. Take control of what you can and move. Fear tried to get me down and get me out last year, like for real, for real. And this year, that ain't happening. My word of the year actually is fearless. So I will be just keeping it at the forefront of everything that I do. Every goal that I set, every time that I wake up every day, it's like, how can I be fearless today? So that's kind of the vibes. And I did my goals by quarter this year. So I won't actually share all of them because I want to edit them a little bit more and they're personal. So I'll share more as they feel less personal to me. But creating more is a huge thing, which is why I have this creative check-in right now. I wanted to know how y'all are feeling at the top of this year. First, if there's anything that as I'm creating, I can help you with that you'd be interested to just know about my journey, about how I'm progressing, that I can create any content around, but then also how you are taking your creativity to the next level this year. Maybe you're not taking it to the next level, but you're just continuing the path that you were on and just trying to remain steadfast in that. But I wanted to check in on how you're feeling. I think that as creatives, when we go from season to season, year to year, month to month, it can just be taxing, to be honest, and it's just a constant pull on what should I create, who am I creating for, what's the best platform, how often do I want to show up, what part of my creativity is just for me versus what am I giving out for consumption to be interpreted by other people. And I just wanted to create pause together for a second, that we don't have to figure out all the things right here right now at once. And sometimes our demands of life and just our creative desires will make it seem that way, but we don't have to know all the answers to our creativity and pick it apart before we can move forward in it. So I just want to get a little temperature check on how y'all are feeling on that. For me, I want everything to be perfect. You already know that. And I feel less attached to that idea that everything has to be perfect. Um, I think, however, I had that feel of like, okay, how are you going to show up on all of these things at once? And I still don't have it down all the way. So I want to create a schedule or a rhythm or routines so that way when I'm creating podcast content, it's not getting in the way of me creating YouTube content. When I'm creating YouTube content, I'm thinking about paring it down so I can put stuff on TikTok and shorts. But then that's not taken away from when I'm going to events in person, right? So there's an ecosystem of creativity that I think we can invite God into to help us prioritize what needs to happen first, what benefit is each thing, because I think sometimes to make things easier on ourselves, we just think, okay, well, how can I copy paste this to put this there? I'm just going to upload the same reels to TikTok. I'm going to upload my TikToks to reels, like whatever that thing is. But I think that there are certain purposes that our creativity plays in our life. Sometimes it's for other people. Sometimes it's a certain purpose for us. Sometimes it's a certain purpose for the kingdom. And I think knowing that and having an awareness of that is what will help us to actually move forward in the way that we need to, that's productive and that can keep us moving towards our goals and have this year be the best year of our lives. That's what 2024 has to be for me. This needs to be the best year of my life. And while I need faith for that, while I need Jesus for that, okay, because there's no way that I could just make all the things happen as they need to happen. I am trying to think about the destiny pieces. What are the pieces of me as the creative? What are the pieces of me as the person of faith that I need to put in place to make this year the best year of my life, to make it the best year of my life in faith, right? And that faith is mine to activate. The result is God's to activate. So that is just I don't know, I just want to kind of share some thoughts on how I'm feeling with my creativity as we kick off. There's a lot that I want to create and a lot that I'm trying to stretch myself to be able to do, because to be honest, last year I did a lot. Let's start there. I did a lot. I was able to travel. I had a lot of internal turmoil and just like stuff going on, like, and I was still able to accomplish a lot of things, getting paid to speak multiple times and getting opportunities that I would have never saw for myself. Getting my new crib in a city, it was like one of the biggest things. Going to London for my birthday was actually like for real one of the biggest things. It was so unexpected. I was in a Chipotle commercial last year. I was able to speak at a conference, right? There were just so many creative things that I was able to do last year. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I sold myself short. There were some belief systems that I had that did not benefit me. There were some prayers that I felt, but I did not send up to God. There were some moments where I needed to step out and not be fearful. And I was like, I'm scared. And I just let that be that, right? And so last year was great, but I do think that there were some ways that I could have taken things a lot further. I could have went a lot harder. I could have just invited God in to do more heavy lifting for me, to be honest. But I didn't believe that it was possible. And so since I didn't believe it was possible, I didn't pray without ceasing. Gosh, like, oh my God, I did not do that at all. I did not pull other people in. Oh my God. I do not think, one, you should not be a Christian by yourself, but I think even as a creative, our creativity bounces off of each other. I share an idea with you, you give an idea to me. I'm inspired by this thing and I create that thing. I host this group of people and maybe we make this thing together, right? And so I think there are moments where I fanned off connection with other creatives, and that halted me from being the best creative that I could have been last year too. And I could have did more research. I think sometimes I get in a research like dark hole and I will watch hella videos, I'll read a bunch of books, articles, whatever, and I don't do anything. But then there are other times when it's like, okay, I was looking at the numbers of the content that I was making last year, but I don't think I was flipping it enough to make it a resource for me. Like the numbers are not vanity. metrics. I think there's knowledge, right? Their wisdom, and you could use the numbers to help you progress your work. And I don't think I did that as well as I could have last year. So that's something that I want to do this year for sure, starting this month and get into it. So that's kind of how I'm thinking, even on a numbers perspective with my creativity. And I did that with my goals this year. So with my goals, last year I didn't write goals. We'll get into that in a second. But the year before, I wrote some out, and I had a lot of, I want to sell this amount of money, amount of merch, which mind you, this is 2021. I didn't even launch merch till this year. I had like a dollar amount I needed to make from that. I had how many followers I wanted to have. I had like all these things. And one, I just said I wasn't even using my metrics to help me get to those goals. But two, when I felt far off, I didn't feel motivated to actually go for the goal that I had set, right? So with me writing my goals this year, I have some numbers in there, but they're different. Like it's not about the outcome of the thing, it's about my input. So I'm thinking more about how many videos do I want to create a month, which I've done that before, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was getting these followers, getting this money, getting XYZ. And then I didn't feel motivated, and I actually didn't even try to do any of those things. This year, it's like, okay, I have this goal of what I want. Like I want to be monetized on YouTube, but that's not the driving force. I want to people. I feel like there is an in-between stage of being a Christian and being yourself that get lost. Sometimes it's like if you're being yourself, then you're a straight up sinner. You don't believe in God. You're not really trusting Him, and you need to turn your life over to Him. And I think that comes from how we're supposed to die to ourselves daily. That's true. However, God created us uniquely and individually, and I think that when we get caught up in being a Christian, we actually turn into like a Pharisee mindset. And Pharisees know all the things about the word and the Bible, but they miss out on relationship with God and ultimately relationship with themselves, because relationship with ourselves is how we create relationship with God. We all pray different. We'll all fast different. We'll all worship different. So I want to create, that's even what the cool kids is. It's like, you can be Christian and be cool. You can be Christian and be you. You can be Christian and show up as yourself and connect with other Christians as well. You don't have to be like this lone wolf, because God does not call us to that. So that's kind of how the Cool Kids Collective, that's like the crux of the whole thing that I'm trying to create. So as I am creating this year, I want to help people from that standpoint consistently. And I think last year, what halted me from doing it in a consistent standpoint is me not feeling that myself. I felt like I either had to be super Christian of the year or I had to be myself, but God didn't like that. And when I tried to mix the two together, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So this year, I want to just make sure that I am keeping in mind that God is me. Like He lives in me. I cannot untether us if I wanted to. Like we are locked in. But then also having fun with being a creative too. I think that last year I wasn't having fun. I felt I was in crisis mode. Okay. I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't know how I was going to make money. I still kind of, I would say I kind of don't. I just got to put in the work now. But last year I really was like, how the heck am I doing any of the things that I kind of feel called to do, that I even have the idea to do? And it was stressing me out. And when you're stressed out and trying to create at the same time, it's out of desperation and not out of fun whatsoever. And I think that's, again, what stops me from inviting God into what I was doing, because I was like, do you even care? And I don't even care. I'm not having fun with what I'm doing. So this year, I want to center fun a lot more, have creative play, right? Put out something and it's like, maybe this isn't the best thing and it's not going to like change the world, but I have fun creating this and maybe you'll have fun watching it. So that is the thing. Actually use my metrics to help me create smart, and then having like a always on approach to what I'm doing, and not me being always on, but like having my creativity be bountiful enough that even if I'm on an off day, you are getting something, right? So that's where I'm at. That's my little creative check-in. Drop something in the comments. You can't DM me on here, but you know what I mean. Drop something in the comments or hit me on the creator tab and just let me know how y'all are feeling with your creativity this year. Maybe there are some goals that you want to share or your word of the year. Again, mine is fearless. So that's how we come in this year. But yeah, just let me know kind of where you guys are. And then if there is anything from Power and Prose, from me, my story, where we are headed together as a collective that you feel would be helpful for me to create to help you on your journey, let your girl know. I want to be sure that I'm creating things that are helpful and that you just have an interest in. So if there are lines, I'll create it and you'll see it on the channel real soon. I love y'all and happy 2024. Oh, I can't believe we made it for real.